Let me start there, Mike. Whose night would you want to have, Dellavedova's or Chris Heston?
Gritty, gutty Delly. Come on. Come on. That's the finals. I know it's a no-hitter. I know the list is not that long. But Dellavedova, when you do something on the biggest stage in the sport, and it is, that's a huge deal. What a night to have your career high, to score 20 and do the things you did. So we'll talk about Dellavedova. In 12 years, it will probably be, who was that guy? Dellavedova, that's right, yeah. Matthew Dellavedova, no doubt.
Well, we had this every World Series. There'll be a Mark Lemke or a Denny Doyle. I mean, there's always somebody where, Freddie Patek. You're going to go, oh, remember that guy? It's going to be Matt Dellavedova.
You know what? Their assistant for Cleveland, Tyronn Lue, whose name comes up a lot, future head coach, all that. Mm-hmm. And it comes up because when he was playing with the Lakers and they played the Sixers in that finals, Iverson hits the shot in front of the bench. He steps over Tyronn Lue. We've seen that 1,000 times. What a lot of people don't remember is the rest of that series, Lue shut Iverson down. He played very good defense and actually earned himself a contract right off of that as a free agent, I believe, the very next season. So this is kind of reminding me of one of those guys who's making a name for himself through the finals that, for the most part, people didn't know before.
Do you purposely try to avoid cliches with Dellavedova?
Oh, do I personally?
Yeah, when you're calling the game.
Calling the game on radio, it's easy. That's no problem because all he's doing is diving after the ball and making shots from who knows where and who knows why. So yeah, he's easy to describe, especially calling the game because he's doing things other people are not. It's amazing. For about a 2-minute stretch there at the end of the game, it really felt like a football game. Guys are diving on the floor. It looked like a fumble, and 6 guys are on the deck diving for it. It's insane.
What's the mood in this city like?
As always, and you've done this a ton of times, you get in a city on the road and you hop in a cab and you ask a cab driver and you get great response. I don't know if the Uber drivers in the future will be as good a source as the cab drivers because the cab driver feels the city. And so I asked the cab driver yesterday, I said, what do you all think of LeBron here? I said, man, we were mad. We were mad. We understood why he left, but we hated how he left. But the fact that he chose to come back has made us love him maybe even more. And Dan, I'm a big believer in this, and this is not extra LeBron love or all the other stuff people will say, but I think if they win this title, if they win 2 more games, I don't wait till he retires to put the statue up. I start putting the statue up this summer. I think with this group coming home, the 51 years of Cleveland, what he's doing in this series, statue up in July. I think this has been as good an individual performance as I've seen on this stage.
Why doesn't America embrace LeBron James?
I think, it's keen to dislike anybody who's oversaturated, who everybody feels like we're being told that he's the best as opposed to earning it. But when we take a step back and look, from high school, when his games were on national TV, from cover of SI in high school all the way through, for the most part, the guy has delivered and saved the decision. He hasn't done the wrong thing. He has stayed out of trouble. He stayed out of the headlines, stayed off of page 6, all that other stuff. For the most part, he's done this really well. But because he is the one who we all say, this guy's going to do great things, people say, you know what? Stop force-feeding me LeBron James, when in fact, when you look at all his historical timelines and stats, he belongs with the best. He really does.
I'm curious about what you see courtside with Golden State. I haven't seen sort of that aggressive. I can't even put my finger on it. I know how Cleveland's playing.
Right.
I don't feel like this is whatever it takes Golden State style basketball. And I don't know. Is that fair assessment here?
Yes. Yeah. Do you want a sports cliche now?
Yeah. Fire away.
Now I'm not calling the game. I'm just doing it. Dictate the tempo.
Oh, okay.
Cleveland is dictating the tempo, and Golden State likes to play fast. We know that, but maybe this is just you have to watch the games to feel this. There's a difference between playing fast and feeling rushed. And I feel like every time Golden State gets an opportunity, they're rushing. Oh, let's do this quick. I think Cleveland not only is playing a good defense with them, I think it's as physical as Golden State has been played for a series of games, and that includes the Memphis series. Memphis played them, but it's not the same bruising five-guy effort that you're getting from Cleveland. So I think there's rushed. I don't think they're controlling the tempo the way they're used to. And now, Dan, I think there's doubt. I think they have some doubt. The fourth quarter will be interesting to see if Curry getting free for some threes and running him off some screens to get him the ball a little bit more, and getting David Lee involved in the game. Did they find something there with that little stretch at the end of the game that they'll come back and feel like, oh, you know what, we can score 28 or 30 in a quarter again? Because it had been a long time since they did that.
We've seen this before with great teams, that they're not tested during the year. I always go back to UNLV when they were going to go back-to-back titles, and they didn't play in any close games. And then you saw them in a close game, and they weren't prepared for that final shot. It's as if Golden State, now they should have been prepared after the Memphis series when they were down 2-1, but it just feels like Steve Kerr is learning with them, or they're learning on the job here.
Yeah, you could feel that. I disagree just a little bit about that. Now, I think this is a process, and you covered so many finals, and we did a couple together over the years. The NBA has always been great about earning your next step. Teams had to go through teams. Remember, the Pistons had to go through the Celtics, and then the Bulls had to go through the Pistons. So at each stage, you learn something. Well, I asked Steve Kerr, this is way back in the Memphis series. I did Game 3 for TV, and it was 1-1. And I asked him about any adversity, because remember, Memphis beat them in Oakland. And what turned out happening in Game 3 was Memphis won, so Golden State was right in this spot, down 2-1 on the road for Game 4. And Steve said something really interesting. He said, I talked to my team about that, and I reminded them that every one of the Jordan championship teams that I was on, and the San Antonio teams too, there's always a moment of doubt in the playoffs. And Golden State passed their moment of doubt earlier on in these playoffs, and now here it is again. The only difference is once you make that leap over the bridge and get to the other side, sometimes you don't know, have you gotten to the bridge and you're done, or there's going to be a deeper body of water and a longer bridge to jump. And right now I think they're at a longer bridge to jump because of LeBron and how extraordinary he's playing.
If I said bet a week's pay. Now, this is the fan, Mike Tirico.
No. I'm with you here.
Okay.
I'm with you here. At the end of the game last night, for the first time, I thought Cleveland was going to win this series. First time. So I wouldn't be very comfortable doing that at all right now. I can't believe that they're going to keep going like this. I can't. LeBron's exhausted. We're sitting over on the Cleveland bench side, which, by the way, I could have called David Black's back all night. He stands right in front of you. It's just wonderful. But he comes over exhausted. Every time out, guys are giving him fluids, rubbing his legs so he doesn't cramp. Can he do it for 2 more games? I want to say no, but so far he's answered every question. So first time I'm leaning Cleveland. First time.
What are you going to do on your day off?
What did you do on your days off during the finals, Dan?
In Cleveland, I went to the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
I've been there already. Been to the Science Place, too, which is awesome. Got any other suggestions?
There's a lot of great golf courses around there.
Dan Patrick. I thought for a minute you were forgetting your glorious past, Dan Patrick. Come on.
Where are you playing?
And to be determined at this point. Has not been determined, but it's interviews in the afternoon. So I'm working this morning. Interviews with the team after practice, and then we'll try to squeeze in as many holes as the Midwest sunlight permits. Nice.
Well, that could be a lot because it doesn't get dark till, 8:30?
8:58, but I haven't checked.
Thank you, Mike.
See you, pal.
All right, Mike Tirico calling the game for the mothership.